Director of Instructional Technology here at Greenwich Charter School. Greenwich Charter School is a K-8 elementary school located in Roxborough, Philadelphia. Our tech tool that we're going to talk about is the interactive Whiteboard, which is a rolling whiteboard that you can write on with a pen and you can share in different formats, and we're going to talk more about that throughout our 15-minute session. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we were charged with figuring out how teachers will be able to teach in-person learners and remote learners simultaneously at the same time. We've found that the Vibe Interactive Board has actually given us additional features that have been very helpful into making those two groups come together for a more seamless instruction. Now, this is not to say that there's still not many challenges to in-person and remote learning all at the same time, and it's definitely a preference to have all of our students in person. But the Whiteboard does make certain pieces of a lesson a lot simpler. Each teacher uses the Whiteboard in a different way. Some teachers use the Whiteboard exclusively for sharing their PowerPoints and annotating so their students are in person at home can see their writing. Other teachers use the Whiteboard for sharing their algorithms on the board, their math problems. I find that math teachers typically use it for that reason. So again, this is the Whiteboard, and Mr. Miller is going to talk even more about the functionality, but just to see what a possible setup could be for students, particularly when you're thinking about a hybrid model. We have this board, this math board. It's 3 problems. And right now, if students were in class, the students in class could see this. But then I'm also going to add an additional component where we'll be able to see the students at home will have this shared with them as well. And that's through the Zoom app. And so Zoom on the Whiteboard can actually share this entire screen, which is really helpful for math teachers when they're doing all of their problems out. So the students at home can see exactly what they're writing on the board and the students in person. So this is the Whiteboard. I'm going to go to the Zoom app, which I've already connected to. And the Zoom app on here is like an Android app. So that's how it's going to operate. So as you can see, right now I have 2 screens up. This was my Whiteboard, this is my Zoom app. I just want to show you the process of how simple it is. So right now my Zoom is a participant. The actual Whiteboard is a participant in the Zoom meeting. If I click here, I'm going to do share, and then I'm going to choose share screen. Once I choose share screen, this means that the people at home who are on your Zoom can see everything I'm writing. So this makes it great for a math teacher as I'm solving these equations, because the students at home can also see me writing. And although the students can't directly interact with the board using this Zoom setup, Mr. Miller, again, is going to review a way that you can share the actual canvas so students can write on it as well. But it's just a nice, smooth way for a teacher to just have Zoom already on the Whiteboard and be able to share what's happening on their screen with the students at home. Now we're going to have Mr. Miller, our technology coordinator, go through the functionality in more depth of the Whiteboard.
The Whiteboard is a 55-inch 4K touchscreen TV that is in a matte finish with a 60 Hz refresh rate. It is made out of a metal and plastic construction that can be mounted on any standard TV mount right out of the box, but we opted to go with the optional metal stand that makes the board about 5 foot 10 inches tall. The Whiteboard has 2 USB ports as well as an HDMI in and an HDMI out, a 3.5mm audio jack, and an Ethernet port as well. Also, it has a micro USB port that they use for updates and possibly the future ability to share interactively from your computer. Each Whiteboard also includes 2 of these pens right out of the box, which are about the size of a standard pencil, and is what you will use primarily to control your Whiteboard, as it only has one button, which is on the bottom right corner, and it is just a power button. One of the coolest things about the Whiteboard is that it actually runs on its own OS, so it will connect to your network via Wi-Fi. It's connected to our teacher network right now, and it can download apps and run them on board without having to be sharing from any other device. So there are actually 92 apps as of the time we're making this video that come optimized for the Vibe board, which you can find right in the Vibe App Store right here. But this is just an example of some of the apps we currently have installed on this board. And the actual Vibe board also allows you to connect to Google Play services, which will allow you to download almost any Android app that you can download within your organization's permissions on whatever account you're running from. So we actually use some of those Google applications to make some of the things that you saw in this video so far today, such as the intro animations that you saw, which we use an app called Flip-A-Clip, and things like Zoom that we'll be using later. One of the proprietary softwares for the Vibe board, what it was actually created for, was to be an interactive and collaborative whiteboard, and a whiteboard first. So the actual whiteboard app on the Vibe looks very familiar. It looks very similar to a smartboard with your menu here, which can be moved around anywhere you would like. And that menu can give you the option of choosing your thickness, your colors, as well as your writing utensil, which this is just the pen option. So the matte finish and the material of the pen allows for a really smooth writing. That goes very well. And there are some other really cool features with the writing, such as I don't know if some of you may have students who have very bad handwriting, but I am a lefty personally. I will try to write with my right hand as an example. This board can recognize bad handwriting, and it can correct that for you into a recognizable font. So I will just use that font to give you an example of other things, such as the highlighter function right here. So you can highlight whatever you were working on, or if you have something pulled up on your board that you'd just like to point out, because you can use these functions when it's not just on the white screen, you can do this, which will just leave a trace just to draw attention. This is also the feature to erase whatever you're doing, which is controlled via the same thickness that you would control anything else right there. And you can just rub right over that. Also, you can hit this back function, which will undo whatever your most recent action was, and you can go forward as well. And you can clear the entire board if you just double tap the erase button and hit clear canvas. Some of the more specialized features of the whiteboard function itself are that once you create a Vibe account, which is done right through the Vibe app and in the actual application, you can hit this plus right here and you can add any files from any of your integrated drive sharing options such as Google Drive or Dropbox. You can also search images directly in Google right here. Once you search in that image bar, it'll just do a quick Google search of whatever you type in, and you can take any of these stock photos from Google and insert them right into your drive. Another thing that is very helpful for maybe things such as math and science curriculums are the ability to use pre-made templates. So these are some pre-made templates that have already been included, such as value propositions, empathy maps, basketball courts for athletics, and graphs and so forth. But you can also go through and create your own template and save that to use in the future in case you have a specific graph or a specific diagram that you know you'll be using in lessons. Another feature that somewhat goes along with the templates is if you click right here, you're able to change your background, and your background will bring up different things such as graphs or square graphs, dots for drawing. So you can use those backgrounds to enhance whatever you're doing with that lesson. On top of being able to fix your font with the correction tool, you're also able to use that same type of tool next to the font option to create perfect shapes. So this will understand what shape you're trying to make and then just make it geometrically perfect in case you are trying to use that for math or sciences or so forth. My personal favorite feature of the Whiteboard Canvas app is that you're actually able to collaborate in real time with people not only in the same network as you, as in the same building, but people all around the world if you shared it with them. So this is actually a board that's being currently shared to us from another teacher in the building's classroom. This is her welcome message to her students as they came into the building today. And what I can do right now is I can go up to the share options right here, and just like you would share something through Google Drive, you can go ahead and you can share to anybody in your organization or any email address that you would like. So this is Miss Bouie, who you met earlier, who is our Director of Technology, and I'll be sharing it with her now, and you'll be able to see her join in the board in real time and watch her collaborate with us. We will see when she does share that you'll see either her initials, there are her initials right there, and if you click on the initial, it will actually follow her screen, what she is seeing and doing. So as she edits this board in real time, it will keep us updated. This gives us opportunities in classroom use to have students who are learning remotely also be participating in class with the students, because they are able to write on the board and present in front of the classroom in just a little bit more of a personal way. And there is her update.
The Whiteboard is 55 inches, and I bring that up because that is one of the pitfalls we've noticed. It is not the biggest screen, but it does work for our students in class, especially because this the board can be shared to students directly on their Chromebooks if need be. But that is one of the pitfalls I just want to identify for any people that are interested in this for their school. It's 55 inches. We're hoping that eventually they will come out with a 65-inch screen, because that would be better for our classroom sizes. The cost of the Whiteboard is about $3,000 at this point in time. Of course, it can fluctuate. There's also discounts available for schools, but I would just suggest you contact the company and you can see if there's any discounts available. And finally, it took about, from order time to arrival, it took about 2 to 3 weeks depending on when we ordered it. We ordered 2 in the beginning, like around the holiday season, so it was backed up, so it took about 3 weeks. But the second time we ordered 14 Whiteboards, it took approximately 2 weeks to arrive. So it's a really quick turnaround service, and also their company's customer service is very helpful as well. I hope that this video has been helpful and informational for you. The Whiteboard is an awesome tool. Even if we were to move out of hybrid learning and just have in-person learners, the Whiteboard is still an amazing tool for that as well. If you would like to contact us, you can contact me at abouie@greenwishcharterschool.org to get more information. And if you have any other questions, please just send them our way.